had to think about that.
Yes, I did.
We've been up here a while, and I'm Bruce Hamilton. It is a brisk and cold, but a beautiful day for a parade, Dick.
Yes, indeed. After what may be the longest basketball game ever played, we're ready for a great time here on Chestnut Street in Philadelphia. You are in for a very colorful, interesting, entertaining afternoon.
Let me point out that there are 110 marching units in the 41st annual parade. The theme of this year's parade is St. Patrick Unite Your Children Under One Flag. And passing by the reviewing stands here on Chestnut Street right now are a number of Irish-American associations from Bucks County and Delaware County. Let's listen in. That's the Irish-American Society from Bucks County, engaging in an Irish folk dance.
They've been marching in this parade, by the way, for 16 years. And they were founded to promote Irish culture through lectures, films, festivals, excursions to various Irish celebrations. Lots of dancing in this parade.
Beautiful dancing, too, and some great bands have gone by. Let me just say one thing here. The Grand Marshal for this year's parade is George Costello, and George has been in the University of Pennsylvania Hospital, and he basically told his doctors, he says, look, Doc, I have pain and suffering. Can I have it out in the parade? So the doctors gave him special dispensation to come out today and enjoy this wonderful spectacle on the streets of downtown Philadelphia. Parade started at about 1:45 this afternoon out on the Parkway, made its way down 17th Street and to the reviewing stands right here by 5th and Chestnut.
And a big round of applause for the Irish-American Cultural Society of Bucks County, the dancers. And there they go.
Some of the other dignitaries here today, Mayor Ed Rendell, Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania, Mark Singal.
And we have Anthony Cardinal Bevilacqua on the reviewing stand, the Archbishop of Philadelphia. We also have Senator Arlen Specter up on the reviewing stand.
And coming onto your screen right now, it's the Irish-American Association of Delaware County. They've been marching in this parade for 10 years. They were founded back in 1947. Of course, this organization, like many of the others that have been in this parade, were founded to promote Irish culture and history.
I'll tell you, Bruce, the color of the day, of course, is green. As a matter of fact, there's more green on Chestnut Street than in a baseball player's wallet.
How long did you work on that one? I saw a young lady wearing a hat just behind us here. It said VIP, very Irish person. These are the Blue Jackets Guard USA Corps of Naval Cadets, founded back in 1936. Can you believe they've been marching in this parade for 33 years, Dick?
I'll tell you, it doesn't surprise me that there are lots of groups who've been marching for many, many years. This parade has become part of the fabric of Philadelphia. You know, there's a rich Irish tradition in this city, and every year at this time, this comes blossoming out.
It sure does. Let's listen to their 75 members playing. The streets of the city of brotherly love today. Everybody's out there keeping warm on the streets. A crowd of about 10,000 with us down here toward the end of the parade route, Dick.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, there are 6,700 marchers. Many of them, of course, honorary Irishmen for the day. Most authentic Irishmen, if you will. Of course, on a day like this, everybody becomes Irish, as the cliche goes.
Mr. Dick O'Sheeran.
Yes.
Mr. Bruce O'Hamilton. Want to say hello to Walter Garvin, who is a founding member of one of the Irish societies here in the Delaware Valley. Those of you who are familiar with the parade will no doubt recognize the name. This is the first parade in years he had to miss. I know he's watching right now. He is home because of illness, and his daughter wants to just say how much she loves him. So, Walter, I hope you're keeping warm in the comfort of your home, and your spirit is with us today.
Indeed. Now coming up the street, we have the O'Mahony Association. Now, this is part of the Woodland String Band as well. This is a social organization with the members living in southwest Philadelphia. And this also explains why the Woodland String Band, which of course is headquartered in southwest Philadelphia, always marches with them.
They were, by the way, last year's recipient of the Monsignor Thomas Riley Award for the best marching unit in the parade during the 1991 St. Patrick's Day Festival.
All right, and they'll be playing some very familiar strains to any Philadelphian. Some good old-fashioned mummers music as they step up to the reviewing stand, which, by the way, is just a glorious setting in front of the nation's most famous building, the Independence Hall. Beautiful setting. Here comes the band, Woodland String Band.
Love the banjo.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter that it's St. Paddy's Day.
Well, it kind of goes along, but there's a little bit of that in the mummers strut, a little bit of the Irish dance.
Sounds like a familiar theme song. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
The 1992 St. Patrick's Day Parade is sponsored in part by Midas. Remember, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Think about who you'll be driving around over the next, say, 7 days. That's how long your dealer said it would take before he could fix your brakes. At Midas, we think that's exactly 7 days too long. Because our experts can fix them right the very same day you bring in your car. Midas, because your brakes can't wait.
Right now, get 25% off brake shoes and pads at the participating Midas shops in your area. Remember, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Attention, everyone who owns a car. Rust is on the way. And if you think a manufacturer's warranty is going to stop it, just look around. Fortunately, there is something that can stop rust. Ziebart Tidy Car. Right now, our rust protection package is half off. Get rust protection, fabric protection, and sound barrier for just $2.69. Consult your white pages for a Ziebart Tidy Car nearest you.
If it's time for a new car, it's time to see Faulkner, to be sure. How much fun can one person have for $199 a month? This much fun. This new Achieva has air conditioning, automatic transmission, and a whole lot more. And the smart lease of only $199 a month means you're paying only for the value of the car you actually use. The new Olds Achieva from Faulkner Oldsmobile in the Great Northeast. If it's time for a new car, it's time to see Faulkner, to be sure.
When Grandma and Grandpa first came to America, choosing a dentist was easy. They went to the only one in the neighborhood. But as our family got bigger and our lives got more and more complicated, things like finding a dentist got more complicated too. So now it's nice to know that wherever we go, with one phone call, we can find a dentist that's just right for us.
When you call 1-800-DENTIST, you get the confidence of knowing that we've already referred thousands of satisfied patients to our members. Call us today.
Along with Bruce Hamilton, bringing you all the colorful sights and the music and the Irish dancing on Chestnut Street.
And a beautiful day it is. Lots of great kids out here, and kids of all ages, actually, Dick.
I'll tell you, this is quite a colorful group right here in front of the reviewing stand in front of Independence Hall. This is St. Gabriel's Irish Society. They've been marching in the parade for 9 years. And the organization founded to raise money to help grade school children to pay their tuition. St. Gabriel's Irish Society.
The president of the Parade Organization Committee is Joseph McCoy, and ironically, when we were talking about averting a SEPTA strike throughout the course of the morning, I went out riding on a bus and I ran into Joe. And he said, it's just wonderful that SEPTA decided to settle on the eve of the St. Patrick's Day Parade so that there were no problems for anyone wishing to come down here to enjoy the parade itself. This next group on your screen, they're Irish dancers from New Jersey. This is year number 3 for them in the Philadelphia St. Patrick's Day Parade.
They're from Maple Shade, New Jersey. Well, most of them are anyway. The head of the group is from Maple Shade, New Jersey, Rose Sample. And they have dancers ranging in age from 5 to 70 years old. And many of them have won awards for their dancing. So let's take a look and listen.
Dick said these dancers range in age from 5 to 70 years old. The director of the group, Rose Sample, and Brian Frayne, they've won many awards, as he mentioned, but they also promote the Irish culture through their dance by participating in various Ashana, which are Irish dance competitions during the summer. And up next, we see, it looks like the men of Erin, Dick.
Oh, yes, they're a very old and established group in the St. Patrick's Parade. They've been marching for 41 years.
A little bit of trivia for you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know who their founding member was? I bet you do.
Well, I have a little background in front of me, I have to admit. Yes, indeed. Mayor Hugh Joseph Tate. James Hugh Joseph Tate. Lots of people didn't know what his middle initials stood for. He always went by Mayor James H.J. Tate. It was Hugh Joseph. And, of course, one of Philadelphia's famous Irishmen. Certainly here in spirit.
This group's members, most of them are from the Juniata Park section of town. And the club, just as a bit of history for you, was founded in Swampoodle by the Korean War vets.
All right. Little trivia about Swampoodle, one of the Philadelphia's classic old neighborhoods right around the old Connie Mack Stadium area.
Ah, those were the days.
Yes, indeed.
And here comes Sweeney's Saloon. 12 years ago, Sweeney's Saloon opened, and that's when they began marching in the Philadelphia St. Patrick's Day Parade.
All right. That's a fine-looking group, too. They have a float behind the banner carriers here, part of the Sweeney Saloon contingent.
You know, last night on the news tonight with Beverly Williams, you may have seen bits and pieces of Trenton's St. Patty's Day Parade. This particular group were float winners in 1986, 1989, 1991 in the Trenton St. Patty's Day Festival. And moved to the big time.
Well, you might get an argument from Trenton.
That's the big time.
It's the big time in New Jersey. But certainly a beautifully put together float, very colorful. One of the things about St. Pat's parades is they dazzle the eye. There's no question about it. The bright green and the orange and the white, and among other things. Oh, yeah.
The music that you're hearing right now on the floats provided by Soul's Your Mom, also known as Jack Barkley and Brian Donnelly of Delaware County. They perform from time to time at Sweeney's. And this float is dedicated to John Pat Sweeney, the owner's dad.
All right, so's your mom.
And you know what they say, when Irish eyes are smiling, the whole world smiles on you. Coming up next, it's the Irish Eye Society. Hi there. You can see quite a crowd packing in here on Chestnut Street. Again, there are about 10,000 people just down here at this end of the parade. It started about 1:45 this afternoon, up by 20th in the Parkway, made its way over to 17th Street, 17th to Chestnut, and it's winding its way past historic Independence Hall right now and the reviewing stands.
As a matter of fact, I've covered a few of these parades over the years.
I watched when I was a kid, and I remember seeing you.
Well, no. As a matter of fact, this is a very nice crowd compared to years past in number. It's a cold day, but the parade kind of warms you up as it goes by. You really start to get into the spirit. You don't even think about the cold after a while.
You're right. You know, you and I were talking about something else this morning. We've heard a lot in the news about the politics getting in the way of the festivities in cities such as New York and Boston. And Philadelphia's parade never has been very political, and it makes for a much more comfortable atmosphere.
Philadelphia has escaped that, if you will, the controversy caught in the parade. We've never really had much of that in Philadelphia. It's been just a celebration for the most part. And I think that most people kind of prefer it that way.
I agree with you. By the way, there was a rumor before the parade started that Pat Buchanan, one of the Republican presidential hopefuls, might attend. He, in fact, made application, was granted application, but I don't believe he showed up for today's 41st annual parade.
We haven't seen him. Now, you're watching right now you're watching the string band that's following the Irish Eye Society. And it looks like we think it's the Duffy String Band. So we're going to just sit back and listen to the strains of the Duffy.
Hear everybody singing out here along the parade route? Annie, you're not singing.
tell you.
Well, we told you that the theme for today's parade is Unite Your Children Under One Flag. And the men of Killarney, next up on your screen, symbolizing the theme for the 41st 1992 St. Patty's Day Parade. This group is comprised of members from the Olney and Northeast sections of Philadelphia, the Northeast being my old stomping grounds.
Yeah. Some say Olney.
Olney.
If you're a native Philadelphian, a lot of them say
In the Northeast, we said Olney.
Well, I guess the real pronouncer is Olney. The men of Killarney, all decked out in their green sport coats and black trousers, carrying the various flags of the city, and also looks like the Killarney flag as well.
And their goal is simple, Dick, to bring goodwill between the citizens of Philadelphia and the people of Ireland. And right behind them, we've got some Girl Scouts. Sans Girl Scout cookies.
They're not selling cookies today, but they are marching.
They are making their debut, as a matter of fact. It's a brand new troop from the Olney
yes.
of town.
Olney at the Acme.
And they look forward to making this the first of many appearances in the St. Patrick's Day
They're
Parade.
looking mighty good as well. Coming into our view now and into your view is the Allentown High School Redbird Marching Band from Allentown, New Jersey.
And they are a wonderful band. They're the current winner of the Vincent A. Carroll Award for the most outstanding high school musical unit in this parade. They're ready to strike up the band, so I think we ought to just listen in.
Well, when they do strike up, we're going to listen. By the way, a lot of people don't know there's an Allentown, New Jersey. When you say Allentown, most people think of Pennsylvania.
And Bruce Springsteen.
Yes, but this is Allentown, New Jersey, right up on Route 130 near Yardville. For you geography buffs. And it looks like they are getting into position in front of the reviewing stand, which of course is in front of Independence Hall.
And you will see Mr. Peter Morrow, who has been the director of bands at Allentown High for the past 5 years, directing this morning, or this afternoon. crowd's happy.
Yes, indeed.
Now,
They're a big hit.
You know why they've won so many awards. In fact, Dick, you and I were just looking at their considerable resume. This is interesting.
Right. Yeah, 180 members of the band, and they last participated after a long list of big appearances in Operation Welcome Home, New York City's historic ticker tape parade to honor the troops returning from the Persian Gulf. So this is a really first-class operation.
It is the Allentown High School Redbird Marching Band from Allentown, New Jersey, in the Upper Freehold Regional School District.
The Wearing of the Green by the Allentown High School Band, Allentown, New Jersey. I'll tell you, we're enjoying the parade here on Chestnut Street. It's cold, but the marchers and the dancers and the bands are warming things up, Bruce.
They sure are, and the crowd's having a great time, and we hope you'll stay with us. 110 marching units in this 41st annual parade. There's plenty more fun to come. Enjoy it from the comfort of your living room right here on KYW3. We'll be right back.
Cliff here at IHOP. Lately, people have been saying, Cliff, you spend entirely too much time at IHOP.
Hi, Cliff.
Sorry I'm late. Oh, sure, I drop by once in a while for the weekday breakfast deals. I mean, I'm talking real breakfast here. And I'm in and out of here in no time. Morning, Cliff. Hi, Harry. But I really don't spend that much time here. Bill.
The big 2-egg breakfast, only $2.99. 2 eggs, 2 bacon or sausage, 2 buttermilk pancakes, and hash browns. Just $2.99 all day, Monday through Friday, except holidays.
Copperfield. David Copperfield.
The magic for the 90s.
David Copperfield vanished an airplane. David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Now, live. David Copperfield. New David Copperfield Illusions. Realigning logic. Redefining magic.
2 shows at the Spectrum Showcase Theater, Saturday, April 4th. Tickets on sale now at the Spectrum box office. Authorized agencies and Ticketmaster. KYW TV3 welcomes David Copperfield.
Don't you hate it when you go to answer the phone and you've just missed the call? All you get is that eeet. Well, with Return Call, one of the Bell Atlantic IQ services, if you don't make it to the phone on time, it's okay.
Hello?
It remembers the last number that called you and automatically calls it back.
Hello? It's time, honey.
Now let's say you need to make arrangements with 2 people in 2 different places. 3-way calling lets you get 3 people on the line at the same time.
But I'll never get home in time.
Hold on. I'll call Kate. Hello?
Barbara just went into labor.
Mike, you go straight to the hospital. Barbara?
And Call Waiting, our most popular service, lets important calls get through.
I'll lie down for a while. Thank you, doctor.
Call Waiting, 3-way calling, Return Call. Individual services can cost as little as $2.50 a month. Order all 3 and save 20%.
Hello? Oh, Kate. Yeah, we did just try to call.
Call 1-800-522-6625 now for Bell Atlantic IQ services. Order all 3 and save 20%.
Live coverage of Philadelphia's St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm Dick Sheeran along with Bruce Hamilton here on Chestnut Street in front of Independence Hall, where we're in the thick of a very wonderful parade that's just lighting up Chestnut Street.
It is. The skies are blue. It's a bit brisk out here, but it is most certainly a beautiful day for a parade. 110 marching units, the people of Philadelphia out here in force today, just having a grand time. Of course, St. Patrick's Day officially celebrated on Tuesday, so we'll just extend the celebration over the course of the next 3 days.
Sure. Here in Philadelphia, we kind of extend it 2 or 3 days every year because traditionally it's always held on a Sunday closest to St. Pat's Day. And right now, we're
this is the St. Thomas More Alumni Association, Dick. They've been marching for the past 6 years. We're a little bit out of order here, but I assure you that's who they are. This group was started to perpetuate the name of St. Thomas More High School of Philadelphia, sharing with all the educational, social, and Christian values the men learned at St. Thomas More. And 100 members out marching today. By the way, they would like you to know that they're going to have their 11th annual communion coming up on March the 22nd, just a couple of days from now, at St. Thomas More. Oh, you see the cuties standing in line back there, Dick?
Ah, yes.
They're from the Hamilton Powell Group, Police Athletic League in Mercerville, New Jersey. Some twirlers. I'll tell you, some of those youngsters might be a little bit chilly. I don't know exactly how far the parade route runs. I mean, we know it started back at about 20th in the Parkway, but between some of those buildings, it's got to feel like a wind tunnel. I just hope those kids are keeping nice and cool, nice and warm, rather, on a cool afternoon.
Well, as a matter of fact, the sun kind of drops behind a couple of the big buildings on Chestnut Street. It does get rather chilly, but that's when you march a little quicker.
This is true, and it looks like the crowd thinned out just a tiny bit, but everybody's having a great time. You will see the participants, 65 girls, ranging in age from 5 through 19. They perform throughout the tri-state area, and they compete, by the way, on a national level. The twirling director is Madeline Anzalone, twirling instructor Cindy Clark, and Rachel Anzalone is the feature twirler. Let's go down to street level and we'll watch them do their thing. Even in the cold, they manage a big, broad smile. Look at this one coming right by us here. Yep. Is she a doll? By the way, you may notice some of the marchers today carrying shillelaghs. They look like a walking stick. They are, however, a weapon. It's a wood club customarily made from blackthorn or oak. The term shillelagh comes from County Wicklow, where these weapons were first made.
Yes, indeed.
America's finest and Philadelphia's finest out here on the street, making sure.
They're not carrying shillelaghs, though.
Oh, some people waving to us, Dick.
Oh, hi there. All right. Everybody wearing the green. Well, this next unit is certainly close to my heart. This is the Holy Cross High School Lancers Band, and they're located, of course, in Delran, New Jersey.
Just around the corner?
Just around the corner, and as I say, close to my own heart, since a long-time resident of Delran, New Jersey. And my daughter, Margaret, as a matter of fact, is a graduate of Holy Cross High School.
Wonderful. I should point out, too, that once they're done here, they get ready to go off on their spring band trip. This year, it's to Toronto, Canada. And the school's in the process of constructing a new music, art, and athletic building on the Holy Cross campus.
Which is, of course, right on Route 130.
They've been marching in this parade for 15 years. And as we go down to the street and listen in and watch, you'll see why they've been invited back so many times. If you've just joined us, this is the 41st annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, the 1992 edition with 110 marching units.
And you just finished watching the performance of the Holy Cross High School Lancers Band as they march east on Chestnut after a fine performance. You know, one of the nice traditions about the parade also is that lots of times when people have marched, they'll come back to the reviewing stand area and watch the rest of the parade. So the crowd is always being replenished, if you will.
By the way, this year's parade director is Jim Cawley Sr., and making sure that it's a family affair, the assistant parade director is his son, Jim Cawley Jr.
All right, now we have coming up here now
We have the Irish American Seashore Association from the Greater Wildwoods. Wildwood Crest, no doubt, North Wildwood, and the city of Wildwood.
And behind them you can see the Irish tricolor. And since the theme of this year's parade happens to do with the flag, St. Patrick Unite Your Children Under One Flag, highlighting the national flag of Ireland, the tricolor. By way of a bit of background for you, the current flag of Ireland was not the first, and while its history is a bit muddy, the colors and what they symbolize are pretty specific. The band of green represents the color popular among the Catholic majority. The band of orange represents the Protestant minority. The field of white was inserted to symbolize a peaceful union between the two. The flag was considered at one time to be revolutionary and therefore consequently illegal. It eventually fell into obscurity, and it was first flown on the General Post Office during the Easter Uprising of 1916. And if you remember your history, it became the official flag of the Republic in 1937. they're throwing candy at Dick Sheeran.
In the midst of your dissertation, you missed the candy from the Seashore Group.
If it's food, I never miss it.
No, it's a saltwater taffy, no doubt. Which, of course, is from the seashore.
My goodness, it's a leprechaun!
Ah, they're all over the... Oh, all right, we have some saltwater taffy, and it's green saltwater taffy.
You know what? The pot of gold is not at the end of the rainbow today. It's here at the end of 5th and Chestnut Streets. All right. This is the Sean Daly Memorial Scholarship Group. They've been in the parade now for the past 2 years. Their president is Keith Daly. It's a relatively new organization formed in memory of 17-year-old Sean Daly. You may recall that Sean was beaten to death in a case of mistaken identity back in May 1989. And they established a scholarship fund to enhance the education of local youngsters by awarding high school scholarships in his memory. And there's a mass scheduled for May 14th at Nativity BVM Church, which is at Belgrade and Allegheny.
Yes, that's one of the features of this St. Patrick's Parade. It's very local. It's neighborhood. It's very personal.
It's people.
It is people. That's the whole thing.
And the people of Philadelphia are great. They are having a wonderful time here at the 41st Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. There is more to come in the way of marching units, bands, and people doing the Irish jig. So stay with us right here on KYW TV3.
The Ross Spring Collection, 20 to 60% below department stores every day. The only difference is the price.
I love my calendar girl. My Ross calendar girl. She gets great prices every day of the year.
You see, I figured it was another tie. But when I open the box, I see this thing that looks like a baby typewriter. So I ask, what is it? She says it's a Brother P-Touch. She says it's a new electronic labeling system that makes adhesive labels in 5 sizes, 4 styles, and lots of colors. First, I labeled file folders, computer disks, my videotapes. I can't. You gotta help me with this problem. What problem?
Find all this? If you said the country Columbus first set foot on, you're not only right, you're close. The Bahamas.
Call your travel agent for a Funjet Bahamas vacation. Your dollar goes further in the country that's close.
I'll always remember the first time I saw a football team lift the coach up on their shoulders. It was at Delaware State College. The coach looked like Tom Landry. He wore a suit and a hat, gotta have a hat, and you could tell it was a big win for him and his players. I was just a little kid running along the sidelines, but I was so proud of that coach. He was my dad.
St. Patrick's Day Parade on Chestnut Street.
Dick Sheeran there and Bruce Hamilton here. You're watching the Clatta Society. They're making their debut in the Philadelphia St. Patrick's Day Parade. And many of the members of the group you see dancing out here on Chestnut Street right now are founding members. The rest of their group, ironically, is spending the day in the land of St. Patrick, Ireland. The Clatta is a symbol of peace, loyalty, and love. And that's why the group decided to choose it as their representative. Since we got on late because of the basketball game, I did want to point out that each year the Philadelphia St. Patrick's Day Observance Association invites a guest charity to march, and this year it was the Pamela Scully Fund. John Scully's Walk Across America is what they represent, and their purpose is to raise money for deprived children in Ireland and third world countries.
We're continuing to watch the Clatta Society do their dance routine in front of the reviewing stand, which of course is in front of Independence Hall.
And the sun has gone either behind Independence Hall or behind a cloud. I'm not quite sure which, but we've got a wind chill out here of about what?
It's close to 2 or 3 degrees between the wind and the temperature. As that sun dips, it gets a little colder, but if you're doing a little jig or a dance, then it'll warm you up right away. In fact, as it gets colder, you dance faster.
Unless you can't dance like me.
Right. But actually, the crowd is holding up rather well, I think, considering the cold weather. But of course, Philadelphia in March is usually cold.
Unpredictable.
It's unpredictable.
And it's
usually
windy.
cold.
No, Ben Franklin would have been happy with today.
Yes, he would have. And let's see, we have next in line
Port Richmond.
Port Richmond Tiger Sports Association. We have about, looks like 25 or so youngsters. Looks like
decked out in baseball uniforms.
They are baseball players, yes indeed. But they all have their little green carnations in honor of St. Patrick.
Now this little guy over here is really into it.
Yes, he is. He's carrying the Irish flag as well. Port Richmond Tigers. All right. And this is the second year, by the way, they've marched in the parade.
Coming up next on the 1992 version of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, it's the Ancient Order of Hibernians and the ladies of AOH. And this group has quite a history, Dick.
Yes, they do. They're the oldest Catholic lay organization and largest Irish group in the world. They're founded in Ireland in 1565. The original purpose was to defend the Catholic Church and protect the priests who, at the time, were literally fair game for the British Crown. But in America, the AOH was established in New York City on May 4th, 1836. They say they are the most influential body of men of Irish lineage in the world.
And when you've heard of the political confrontations going on in New York and in Boston, it is usually the AOH, the Ancient Order of Hibernians, that you hear on one side of the fence fighting the other. And by the way, the ladies' AOH is not an auxiliary. They enjoy their own status. This group operates with 4 basic purposes. They want to promote friendship, unity, and Christian charity among their members. They want to uphold and sustain loyalty to the United States by members living here. They want to aid and advance by all legitimate means the aspirations and endeavors of Irish people to complete and absolute independence. And they want to foster and cultivate the history and tradition of the Irish race throughout the world. And there is a lot of tradition marching down Chestnut Street right now.
As a matter of fact, among the former members of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, President John F. Kennedy. Among the present members, Governor Casey, John Cardinal O'Connor of New York, Joseph Doherty, and Anthony Cardinal Bevilacqua of Philadelphia, who is right up at the reviewing stand in his red cape and red Cardinals cap. And he's enjoying the parade along with lots and lots of other people here on Chestnut Street.
And in fact, you have the same vantage point he enjoys right now. Let's listen.
So we wish we loved the red road that's on your garden wall. Hey!
to be the tutor up and upon your brow I thought, hey, maybe that you think of me as a rather heavy do. Hey, don't you take a notion in the boat of Dundee, for I'm the boy to pleaser, I'm the boy to squeezer, I'm the boy to squeezer, as I tell you what I do. Hey, got you like an Irish drum with a broken blarney too. Down your brother, but selling and walling and hauling a boat of Dundee. Hey! For I'm the boy to pleaser, and I'm the boy to teaser, I'm the boy to squeezer, and I'll tell you what I'll do. Hey, caught you like an Irish drum, the broken blarney too, the drums you're running, selling and walling and howling a boat put on the who.
All right. On their floats is an Irish band accompanying the group under one flag with Blackthorn, and 200 members of the AOH marching in this Philadelphia parade.
Yes, indeed. The band, I believe, is called Blackthorn. And there.
It's a long way to Tipperary, to the sweetest girl I know. God bless our goodbye to Piccadilly.
You're watching the Port Richmond division of the AOH, and a large group it is.
You know, most of the people who make up the officer corps of this group are sons and grandsons of one man, a man who was very instrumental in putting together the AOH, and that's Joseph Patrick Shickley. And to become a member, you have got to be 16 years of age, of Irish birth or descent, and a practicing Catholic.
All right, next in line we have the New Hope Solebury High School Band.
Ah, the pride.
New Hope, Pennsylvania.
The pride of Bucks County.
Yes, indeed. They have performed at festivals and parades all over the eastern part of the United States. Let's listen.
Dick mentioned that the AOH was a very large group, and this particular band out of Bucks County was marching with them. And you can see that there is still more to this contingent.
Yes, the AOH contingent continues. Say that real fast.
AOH
contingent continues.
It's almost as bad as Triskaidekaphobia on Friday.
Yes. We have, this is division number 39. This was founded back in 1892. They've been parading here for 10 years in Philadelphia.
And these ladies got together, Dick, and made and sold 250 pounds of Irish potatoes. The proceeds went to charity and the Columbian Missions.
I am assuming that they're the candy Irish potatoes, although maybe they are the candy Irish potatoes. Our little voice told us that. I was going to say, it's hard to keep the other potatoes fresh for long. Here they are.
I don't know if you could see it, but when they were coming down in this green Eldorado Cadillac, the license plate says one Elvis.
All right. And there's the float of the Ancient Order of Hibernians going by Independence Hall and the reviewing stand on Chestnut Street.
And coming up next is the Monsignor Thomas J. Riley, Division 39. Marching band. Again,
Well,
we are still with the AOH.
They're just some marchers. They do have a band. Do they have a band?
Oh, I thought I saw some instruments, but no, they're carrying their shillelaghs.
Yes, indeed, and the flags as well. Monsignor Thomas J. Riley, Division 39 of the AOH, all decked out in their tuxedos with tails, and of course the green cummerbunds and the sashes and the hats. That's all part of the parade tradition. That's what makes it so colorful.
And coming up right behind them,
another contingent.
Division 39, another contingent.
Division 39 is big.
Gentlemen have on green carnations today.
Yes.
You may also notice that they're wearing some ribbons. And there is an order, a business order to wearing those ribbons. There are 4 levels. Officers who hold more than one position wear the ribbon of the higher office. If you are at a division level of the AOH, you wear a blue ribbon. County level, a green ribbon. State level, white. And if you are a national officer, you wear a gold ribbon.
And let's see, we have the William V. Kephart Senior Division 40, part of the Ancient Order of Hibernians. They have a float and some marchers behind the float. And they're looking well in their white satin jackets with the appropriate Irish colors around the collar.
You're watching the 41st Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade on KYW TV3. Once again, if you've just tuned in, a word to you about the pending SEPTA strike. It was averted at the last moment last night. SEPTA, the Transport Workers Union, managed to hammer out a brand new contract. It is a 3-year deal subject to ratification by the rank and file. The pact provides that the members of the TWU get them a $500 signing bonus and a 3.5% wage increase in July 1993. Another 3.5% in July 1994 and 3.5% again in December 1994. The agreement was hammered out with about 1 hour until the strike deadline. SEPTA buses and trolleys continue running on schedule. And for those of you who are worried about getting around town tomorrow, getting to work, getting to school, getting wherever you had to go, there is no more concern. A ratification vote by the rank and file is due to come within 2 weeks. We talked to a number of bus drivers today who said it is not going to be a problem.
And then, of course, Bruce, it's helped make the parade a success. The fact that there wasn't a strike, and it's helped the marchers get here, and a lot of the spectators came by way of SEPTA. So it all kind of added to the success of the parade. And as it continues east on Chestnut in front of Independence Hall, we continue to have the AOH contingent, which is a big chunk of the parade. This is the, right now we have the Lansdale Catholic Crusaders coming up with their rifle corps and flag bearers from Lansdale.
And you can hear the sirens from the Philadelphia Fire Department behind them. Ancient Order of Hibernians continue their march down Chestnut Street. I'll tell you what, Annie, why don't we take a little break here, and then we'll come back. All right, is that okay with everybody back in master control? All right, you're watching the 41st Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, marching down the streets of Chestnut Street. Bruce Hamilton along with Dick Sheeran. There's plenty more fun to come. Stay with us on KYW TV3.
Okay.
Hey, watch out. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Are nicks and scratches making your car ugly and old? Introducing Color Smart, the color-coordinated car polish that makes those scratches disappear like magic. So effective, it's like having a paint job in a bottle. The secret is coordinated colors. Look, to shine your shoes, you match the color polish. Color Smart works the same way. Simply choose the color that matches your car. Works on any shade in one easy application. Covers nicks, scratches, even swirl marks in seconds. That car key is ruining the finish. Just use Color Smart White and those scratches are gone.
When I first saw this car, I estimated the value at $2,000. But after using Color Smart just once, I figured I could sell it for $3,000.
That power sander is ruining the paint. Look at that damage. But wait, Color Smart works quickly and easily to restore the shine. So smooth the polish bottle slides right off. To order your color, it's this easy.
The color and make of your car?
Yes, a blue 1989 Buick.
Don't spend hundreds on a new paint job. Now you can order Color Smart, the paint job in a bottle for only $19.95. Order now. and will double the size of your bottle. An incredible 16 ounces for the low price of $19.95. Order within the next 10 minutes and we'll include this incredible triple bonus. Restore it. Makes your vinyl, leather, and rubber look like new. Clear glass for crystal clear fog-free windshields and new car scent. All three a $20 value free when you order Color Smart. So get smart. Use your credit card and Color Smart today.
For faster service, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-342-6200. That's 1-800-342-6200. Or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling to Color Smart, 77 American Way, Roanoke, Virginia 24016. Or call 1-800-342-6200.
And we are back. Bruce Hamilton along with Dick Sheeran for the 41st Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade, winding down the streets of downtown Philadelphia.
And coming up the street right now is the Coyle School of Irish Dance out of Philadelphia. They've been marching for 2 years here in the parade, and they're doing their routine right now in front of the reviewing stand at Independence Hall. And it's a high-stepping routine. Let's listen and watch.
From Ambler, Pennsylvania.
And off they dance.
Coyle School of Irish Dance.
That's how you keep warm.
And what would a parade be without representation from the Fighting Irish?
By all means, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. By the way, lots of Notre Dame fans in the Delaware Valley.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes.
Goodwill Fire Company making its way past the reviewing stand right now. I'll tell you what, we have a bit of a treat. Since the basketball game with the Boston Celtics ran long, we're going to stick with the parade for another 15 minutes or so, and we certainly hope you'll stay with us on this brisk Sunday afternoon.
Bridgeport, Pennsylvania, just across the river from Norristown.
And here comes the Sean McBride Division II from Montgomery, Pennsylvania, of the Ancient Order of Hibernians.
The AOH, of course, has a major chunk of this parade, a big part of the St. Patty's Parade every year here in Philadelphia. And this is the Sean McBride Division number 2, Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Friendship, unity, and Christian charity is the motto of the group. And it's a motley crew with the green Irish sash as they march past the reviewing stand.
And the Blackjack Canoe Group coming up now from the AOH. They're from Delaware County, Pennsylvania.
We're still in the AOH division. Behind the a little sound truck that they have, we have some, in some cases, top-hatted marchers. And the group is now paying their respects to the dignitaries on the reviewing stand.
Among those dignitaries is Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania Mark Singel, Senator Arlen Specter, President of the St. Patrick's Day Observance Association, Joseph McCoy, and the Grand Marshal of this year's parade is George Costello. We mentioned this at the start of the parade. George has been hospitalized, and he asked his doctor for permission to come on out here and march for the day in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. So he is, I've seen his smile from our vantage point.
And there's Anthony Cardinal Bevilacqua, of course, who's been enjoying this parade very much. He's resplendent in his red robe and red Cardinals cap, enjoying the parade from the reviewing stand. And we are right down in the path of